In this video, I'd like us to talk about diversification tips for freelancers. Hi, my name is David, and if this is your first time watching my video tutorials and you like what you see, kindly consider subscribing. Diversification is one of the most crucial things I'd recommend for freelancers. And the way I look at diversification for freelancers is that you need to teach yourself or learn how you can diversify horizontally and vertically. Now, specifically, when I mention horizontal and vertical diversification, this is what I mean. If you have a skill, for example, if you're a transcriber, think of things that are closely related to what you do that you can diversify into. So that's out of the way, and let's look at the first point. Why diversify? And what I like to say is that if you want to make more money, then you need to diversify. And as I've mentioned initially, if you're a transcriber, if you diversify into something like captioning, one thing that will happen is that you'll be able to charge more money for the transcription and captioning services that you're going to be offering. And in the meantime, you still be offering an all in-house package. For example, if you freelance on Upwork, you'll know that sometimes clients require you to submit transcripts if that's transcription. And the one question you should always ask yourself, where do these transcripts go to? Maybe they are sent to a captioner somewhere or a subtitler. The question you should ask yourself, why not offer this all in one package? And as you offer the all in one package, you'll make more money from the skill or the service that you're offering. So if you want to make more money, diversify, and it will also improve your chances of offering an all in one service. The reason why you'll also want to do this is because when a client likes your work and you're working or have a good working experience with a client, they really like looking for somebody else to work with them. So they'll always float the idea and ask you if you know the other service that they need. For example, if it's graphic design, they'll always ask you something of the sort. Hey, can you design graphics? And they can also even tell you where you can design graphics for free, maybe canva.com. And they're really into you when you have a good working relationship. And also, you need to diversify, because sometimes when you do the same thing for years and years and years, it's really boring. And I'd like to say that when I started freelancing on Upwork, back when it was Odesk in 2012, I got one client there, and the work I was doing for this client is video editing. And it was just basic things, and mostly they involved converting videos from one format to another. But over the years, we transitioned into podcast audio editing, writing show notes, creating audiograms. So potentially what I'm driving at is you'll be able to diversify into new and exciting fields. For example, creating audiograms is an excellent field that's not really overcrowded at the moment. So what I'm trying to say is that you can diversify into new exciting fields that will make you feel more rejuvenated and energized to do the particular work, other than maybe you wake up in the morning from Monday to Sunday, January to December, transcribing or even writing or even graphic design. So what I'm driving at is you need to diversify to keep yourself motivated. Next up, you'll need to be prepared for any market change. Particularly, and I'll talk about transcription here, is that the market is changing. And what is happening is that artificial intelligence is taking over most of these transcripts. There are companies like Otter AI, Descript, Sonix, Temi. All these companies are really using machine learning and artificial intelligence to automatically transcribe audio files from different languages into ready transcripts with punctuation and everything in between. So the question is, how fast will the human transcriber be replaced? And we may argue that it's going to take a long time, but we've seen results from these automatic transcription applications. We've seen Otter do very good transcripts for the American presidential debate. So there is no need to really fight with the market, but you should be prepared for any market change. Another trend that I've seen is that due to the increase of these artificial intelligence automatic transcription services, then clients are only providing you with transcripts that need quality assurance and correction of errors, grammatical errors, punctuation, So you can imagine what's happening. The world is changing. So if if you have one skill, then that means you really need to diversify. And if you want some freedom, because sometimes, as I've mentioned, if you make more money, let's say you have one client that you transcribe for, caption, create episode graphics for maybe their podcast, etc. You'll have to work for less clients and potentially, since you're doing many tasks, make more money. This doesn't really translate into freedom, but if you're making some good money from one or two clients and you have a schedule for what is required, then this can help you plan to have spare time to spend with your family, go on holiday, and all that. So potentially what I'm driving at here is that you'll be able to decide when or when not to work, rather than when you work on sites that take accounts where you just pick a file if it's transcription and you just work on it. You'll never be free, because once you do that, the job is gone. Also, when you diversify, whether you're getting direct clients or on freelancing websites, you'll be able to know how you can manage and know how much money you can make. For example, if you have a direct client, a DC, you'll be able to know this client gives me about $300 a week. So if I got two more, then that will give me at least about $600 a week, which is a good amount of money that you can be making anywhere in the world at the moment. So these are some of the few reasons why you need to diversify. And maybe you're wondering, how do you diversify? And what I always say is that you should never stop learning. That's one of my sole intentions in life, to always keep learning. And the simplest way you can diversify is to learn a new skill related to the service you offer. So if you're a transcriber and you don't know how to subtitle or caption videos, then you learn subtitling and captioning. This is one of the things that I always say. If you're a video editor, teach yourself audio editing. If you're a give or take, if you're a writer, teach yourself how to design websites using WordPress, teach yourself affiliate marketing. That's what you do. You learn a new skill related to the service that you offer. And towards the end, I'll just mention some of the websites that you can go to and learn, but I'll have the links to the websites and some courses that I recommend in the description below, so kindly check that out. So let's say you also want to learn a new in-demand skill. So let's say you've seen something like explainer videos are making people money using application like Toonly, Doodly, videos, Explaindio. So what you need to do is you can be good at one thing and maybe have that eye for design, that eye for creating animated videos. Then, since that is an in-demand skill, you teach yourself that in-demand skill so that you can diversify. And for all the reasons that we've mentioned, make more money, get more freedom, and also be ready for a rainy day to avoid the famine approach where there are days when there's no work and there are days when there's work. So I hope that we are together up to there. And what I'd like to say is that horizontal and vertical diversification is really diversifying into related fields. And you can still add in learning an in-demand skill that potentially will help you boost your earnings. So the horizontal and vertical diversification method that I try to refer to here is really diversifying into related fields. And what we're going to look at, we are going to look at an example or sort of a scenario. And this scenario, you can see the boxes. And this is not a definite scenario. You can have many more arrows pointing outwards or pointing inwards. Really depends on what you want. But let's say the box at the center, this box here, is where you have your core skill or the core job that you do. So if that's what you do on a daily basis, let's say you transcribe. So we have transcription right there. It's a good job, but I've mentioned that it could be under threat from artificial intelligence and machine learning. So the first question is, to cushion yourself, what do? You need to learn a new skill. What's the most related skill to that? It's something called captioning or subtitling. Now, you've diversified into captioning from transcription, and this will boost your chances of getting clients that maybe want transcription and captioning services from you. whether you're applying for direct clients or just on websites like Upwork or even Fiverr, you offer these two services, and the client, instead of getting the transcript from you, they'll also get the subtitles or captions from you. So potentially what I'm driving at is that a sister service like transcription and captioning, since they're sister services, and you can check out on rev.com, transcribeme.com, all those websites, you'll notice that they offer transcription and captioning services. And the reason why they do that is because these services are intertwined and correlated. So that's the number one thing. And as I've mentioned, I'll have links to all the courses that I'll mention here, and you can check out my captioning course from the link below. If we look at something else, we can look at something like audio editing. If you're a transcriber, what happens is that you create transcripts from the audio that you have. If you freelance on a website like Upwork, or you have direct clients that you've pitched to and all that, then what happens is there are days when the person that is supposed to edit the audio files falls sick. What do? What if you, as a freelancer, know how to edit audio files? What that means is that you're increasing your chances of making more money, and since audio editing sometimes is a little bit more tasking, then you find yourself making much more money when you can transcribe and edit audio. So if you're working with a schedule of, like, let's say you're doing podcast audio editing, and then the transcript for the podcast, and then let's say the show notes for the podcast, and then let's say the audio or the graphics, episode graphics for the podcast, you are literally diversifying across the board. So you can get the raw audio file, edit the audio file with your audio editing skills that you've learned, and then transcribe the podcast as you do from your core skill. So what I'm trying to drive at is here from this particular example scenario is that from that one thing, you can teach yourself things that can really boost your chances of making much more money and diversifying. What else can you do? Obviously, the sister service to something like audio editing is video editing. So if you're a transcriber, let's say you transcribe, let's say webinars, let's say you transcribe interviews, and maybe the client has some few errors in the interview. What if they asked you a question? Hey David, I know you do transcription work for me, but can you edit videos? I have a video that has a small mistake that I'd like to have that particular section removed, or I'd like to change a slide from a webinar I conducted. Can you do that for me? So that's just simple and basic video editing. What I'm trying to drive at here is that this is something that you can learn and easily learn, and it is not rocket science. It's something that's as simple as they come. So what I'm driving at is your core skill. What's closely related? What are the things that are closely related? The horizontal and vertical diversification comes in. Let's look at something else. WordPress. Now, WordPress powers most of the websites that you see or visit. What I'm driving at here with WordPress is that when you transcribe an audio file, you get a transcript. When you get a transcript, what some clients do is that they post the transcript on their website as it is. Others decide to submit or post show notes for that particular audio file. Let's say it's a podcast. They produce podcast show notes and then add them through their WordPress blog and then have the transcript there. So the reason why I put WordPress here is because WordPress is as simple as Microsoft Word. It's basically just some few buttons here and there. You create a post, you publish. And most of the time, if a client is delegating work like this to you, is that they will just want you to do the transcript, go get the link for the podcast from the various podcast websites, hosting websites, whether it's Libsyn, Podbean, whatever it is, and then do the following: post and do some slight adjustments for readability and all that using WordPress. It's as simple as they come. So what I'd recommend is look at what you do. For example, let's go back. The center box is where you are. Let's say you edit videos. If you edit videos, then you'll know that one of the things that you can learn is something like creating video animations using easily available tools. Toonly, Create Studio, Doodly, all of them. There's just a ton of things that have come out right now. What else can you teach yourself? Things like color grading. What else can you teach yourself? Things like creating social media videos. Basically, it's just the whole array, and maybe audio editing and mixing. That's just a lot of things that you can teach yourself. From there, you can also teach yourself video SEO. That is how you can rank videos as #1 for the target keywords that people are searching for. So what I'm driving at is have your core job, skill, or service at the center, and then look at all the related things that you can do. So basically, if it's transcription, it's your core skill or core job or core service that you offer. And then you diversify into captioning, you diversify into audio editing, video editing, WordPress, graphic design for maybe podcast episode graphics. All that kind of work is something that you can do and easily learn. So the question comes in, where did you get these lessons from? What I like to say is that there are a ton of online courses available online, and what I like to say is that you can learn for free. There are free courses, there are a ton of cheap courses, and one of the places that I'd like to recommend is go check out udemy.com. They constantly have offers for their courses, and I've put links in the description below to make it easier for you. You'll see courses ranging from anything you'd like to learn in the world, and this is coming up. So you go check out a course like captioning, you go check out a course on WordPress, you'll find it on Udemy. Another site is Skillshare, skillshare.com, and they offer all these courses, most of them, and these courses are created by maybe somebody who felt a void in the market. Like me, I felt that there's a void in the market for captioning, so I did a course on captioning, and it's linked in the description below. So all these courses are what people have experienced, what they've done, and most of them are constantly updated. So check them out, sign up, enroll, and learn. I also recommend one of the best websites that I used so many years ago. It's called LinkedIn Learning, but back then it was called lynda.com, lynda.com, and this is one of the best websites with professional courses on almost all kinds of things that you need, but mostly professional or give or take, nothing so chaotic, like not chaotic per se, but nothing out of the ordinary. For Udemy, anybody creates courses. LinkedIn Learning is just professional instructors. For Udemy, it's just anybody can be an instructor, and that's why I always say you always learn. It doesn't matter whether it's a kid teaching you or it's an old man, you can learn anything from anyone. And finally, YouTube. Like you're watching this video, you're learning something, maybe something you've not thought about, maybe something that you've not decided to venture into. But what I'm trying to enlighten you today is that this is something that you can do. You can diversify horizontally and vertically into different things that are related to what you do, or even if they're not related, they're things that are in demand. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we all need to have the freedom, to have the financial freedom, to avoid this approach of fast and famine, where there are days you have a ton of jobs your way, and there are days where you don't have any work. You need to be an all-rounded freelancer offering an all-in-one package. So just think about it, check out that scenario, fill out the different boxes. You can just draw it on a piece of paper and just start filling out what you can learn. Check out from the courses from the links below, and I hope that this video is going to be beneficial to somebody and that you're going to learn something. So that's it from me for this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.